A single punch from an elite boxer like Mike Tyson or Canelo Alvarez can hit with over 2,000 pounds worth of force. That's enough to crack a bone and end a fight instantly. And here's the thing, you don't get that kind of power from doing random gym workouts or bodybuilding routines. Boxing strength training is different. It's about building the right muscles the right way so you can hit harder, move faster, and last longer without slowing down. And the best part is you can build that kind of strength from home with no to very little equipment. And in this video, I'm going to show you what you can do and exactly how to do this. And then later on in this video, I'm going to give you a complete program you can follow along with at home where you need little to no equipment, so you know exactly what to do and when to do it. But before I get into the programmed workout, it's important that you understand the difference between a bodybuilder's big muscles and boxing type muscles, because you've probably seen bodybuilders with massive arms, massive chests, who look like they can fight. You'd think they would be able to punch through a wall. Now, if you see this bodybuilder right here compared to this boxer right here, if I asked a random person in the street who can punch harder, who can fight better, you know who they're all going to pick, right? Well, that's wrong. Now, I used to train 7 times Mr. Olympia Phil Heath, and he will tell you himself the difference between these type of muscles. Basically, more muscles means more oxygen is needed, and if it's not trained for boxing, you're going to gas out very fast. Now, look at someone like Canelo Alvarez. He's not the biggest guy in the gym, but his strength training is all about speed, rotation, endurance, and specific to boxing. Then we've got Mike Tyson, who built insane knockout power, and he did so many explosive bodyweight drills, resistance training, and short intense sessions that you can do from home, which we'll get onto in a little bit. But just know that he wasn't doing hours of heavy lifting in the gym. Now that you understand that, it's time to look at a couple of key exercises that can build functional boxing strength. And I've put this now into 4 important sections: lower body, upper body, the power connector, which is the thing that connects in between your core, and then your conditioning. And all of these are powerful exercises, but you have to know when to do them, which I'll talk about in section 5, and how you can put them into a workout that is simple for you to follow along with at home. Now let's talk about section 1, which is lower body. As you may know, every punch starts from the ground up. The more force that you can push through your legs into your hips to rotate into the punch, the more power that will transfer into them punches. And that is if your technique is right. Now, I just want to say about all of these exercises that I'm going to give you, these are not fancy exercises. People think to get strong, you need to be doing all of these fancy exercises with all of the latest equipment in gyms and all of that stuff. No, you don't. Basics is key. Just like in boxing, to get better at boxing, you need to have the basic fundamentals down. You don't have to be working on pivot hooks followed by a triple jab right hand to the body and then 6 uppercuts to get good at boxing. No, you need to work on the basic footwork and then the solid jab, and that will help you improve in boxing. Just like these exercises, nothing fancy, but full of benefits. First, I'll talk about the bodyweight options, then we'll add in some basic equipment to advance these even more. One of the best exercises you can do for your legs is squats. When you're doing this, you need to make sure that you're driving through your heels, your chest is upright, your back is straight. You want to be doing around 3 to 4 sets of these, and if you can do 10 to 15 reps, that's great. And I'll tell you about how often you should be doing these when we give you the program workout at the end of the video. But to advance squats and to increase the explosiveness, all you've got to do is add a jump. These are called squat jumps. The exact same form, but as you're coming up, you're going to explode upwards and focus on landing softly. This will build the fast twitch muscle fibers to help you build knockout power. Then if you want to add some resistance to this, you need to get a bit of weight, like a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and use this when you're squatting. This is going to give you that added resistance. Now, another low impact exercise that you can do is step ups on a bench, where you're going to drive up, and this is going to build all of them muscles in the top of your legs, exactly what you need to help get more power in the punch. Now, when you're doing these, it's important that you drive up through your lead leg, do one leg at a time, then switch legs. And these aren't just leg exercises, they're your engine for every punch, because as you may know, if your legs fade, weight, your power will disappear. Now let's talk about unbelievable upper body exercises that you can do. And I'll give you some variations of these as well. And these are so beneficial. But before I get into them, I just want to tell you about one more thing that I'm doing that is helping my strength and also my brain. And these are a couple of supplements that I'm taking on a daily basis. The first one is one of the most researched supplements on the planet. And I believe everyone should be taking this every day, because not only is it going to help you with building muscle and your strength, but also it's great for your brain as well. And if you're like me, you've been punched in the head so many bloody times in your life, we want to keep our brain as sharp as possible. And this is called creatine. Very easy and simple to use, but the benefits are absolutely massive. I can't recommend this highly enough. Now, the other supplement that I'm taking on a daily basis is called NMN. Our bodies run on a vital power source called NAD+. And as we get older, our NAD levels lower, which can leave us tired and feeling wore out. And ultimately, NMN is like a way to recharge our cells that's in our body, which helps with energy, sharper focus, and feeling genuinely vibrant again. And if I'm putting anything in my body, it's got to be the very best source of ingredients possible. That's why I use a research company to get my supplements from called DoNotAge.org. These are obsessed with not only sourcing the best ingredients on the market, but also to help people live better. And I'm so grateful that this great company are sponsoring today's video. Now, if you want to get yourself some of this, you can scan here or go to DoNotAge.org and use code BOXING at the checkout and you'll save 10% off. I'm telling you, mate, get yourself some creatine and some NMN. It's an absolute game changer. Now that you've got your creatine and you're feeling jacked, let's talk about the upper body strength. Punching isn't just about the pushing your arm out like this. It's about also pulling it back quickly to reset so you can punch again. That's why boxers' shoulders and the core are balanced. And that's why my shoulders, if I tense like this, they are pretty big without trying to sound like a big head. Because I've been boxing for so long and I've been working on the right sort of things in my training to help me build good shoulders so I can punch harder and faster. Now, a couple of bodyweight exercises that you can do right now at home. The first one is something that Mike Tyson used to do when he was locked up in jail. And this is push-ups, which are way more beneficial for boxing than you may think. They don't just help you with your overall strength, punching power and speed. Push-ups actually also build your chest, your shoulders and your triceps, which are the exact same muscles that we use when we're punching. They train you to generate force quickly, especially when you use explosion variations like a clap push-up, which is what you can add on if you are getting comfortable doing your normal push-ups. And another thing, in boxing, as you know, your shoulders are always working when you're throwing punches. You're keeping your hands up all the time. So push-ups develop that muscle endurance so your arms don't feel heavy, especially when you're getting into the later rounds, which is absolutely terrible. I know you've been there. Now, depending on your ability, I recommend doing 3 to 4 sets in 10 to 20 reps. And if you're struggling with push-ups, what you should do is go on your knees and do them from there. These are still very beneficial. Now, if you're feeling strong and macho, what I recommend you try is doing some more explosive push-ups, where you're going to push off the floor, clapping in front of you, and then going down smoothly. Now, I've got a challenge for you. Something that I could do before the Olympics. Can't do it now. 40, old, got a bad neck. But what this is you're going to do a push-up, you're going to clap in front of you, clap behind your back, clap in front of you before you land. Yes, I could do that. Now, I challenge anyone on here to do that. If you do it, tag me on Instagram. And if it's correct and it looks good, what I'll do for you is send you one of my great boxing programs. Links are all below, by the way. And this will help you get better at boxing. So a little challenge for you. Now, let's move on to another upper body exercise that Mike Tyson did when he was in jail. This one is great for your hooks because you're going to be building your lats. And this is something that I used to do before the Olympics as well, which I believe is part of the reason why I could get so much power in my lead hook. And this is wide grip pull-ups. Now, if you're struggling with these, I recommend you use a resistance band on your pull-up bar, which will help give you some support. Now, another thing you can do when it comes to pull-ups is close grip pull-ups. When you do these are great for building your belly biceps, which I haven't got the biggest biceps, so maybe I should do some of them. And also your forearms, which will help you with straight speed punches. And like I said, grab yourself a resistance band. This is going to help you get through them and help you develop that strength. Now, another thing that you can do, this time, if you have some equipment, dumbbell rows. These will strengthen your lats, your traps, and your delts. The same muscles that snap your arm back to your guard after a punch. Now, another huge thing that I absolutely love, which we can do from home, is resistance band shadow boxing. boxing, where you anchor the band underneath your arms like this, then you can throw fast punches, and this is going to really help build up your strength and your speed. And these help your reactions, and faster reactions mean you can throw more punches without burning out and keeping your guard up at all times. Now let's move into section number 3, which is the power connector. This connects your lower body to your upper body, and it's where the punch rotation comes from. A strong core keeps you balanced so you can defend and counter. Now, some body weight options for this. Now, the first one is what I was the champion at on the Great Britain boxing team, and this was holding the plank. When I was training for the Olympics, I held the plank for 8 minutes, which was the record on the Great Britain boxing team. I don't even think it's been beat up to now. That's a lie. I've got absolutely no idea. But you know, it makes me feel good, and it's good for my ego to think I'm still a champion after all this time. Now, you don't need to do it for that long. I'm just bragging here to make myself feel better. You can start with a minute and build up for longer and longer. Now, also what you can do with this, you can add in some shoulder taps, and this will help you with your stability while resistant rotation. Now, another great core exercise is Russian twists. As we've spoke about, power doesn't come from your arms, it comes from your legs and your core rotation together. Russian twists help strengthen your obliques and deep core muscles to help generate and transfer rotational force into your punches. 3 or 4 sets of these, 20 reps each side, focusing on full rotation is key. And because you train boxing, you should be doing your core work after every session, or at the end of every session, I should say. And I promise you, mate, you'll see a big difference. All fighters are doing core work at the end of every session. And there's lots more different core exercises that you can do. I'm not going to go on and on about them on this video, because I want to now jump into section number 4 before I give you the workout at the end. And section number 4 is explosiveness and conditioning. Canelo's training often finishes with explosive, high-intensity work which mimics a fight, and we're going to do the same. Now, body weight options for this is something that so many people disagree with when I say this, and I'm going to get a lot of hate online for it, but I can only tell you this exercise because it's something that I used to do all the way through my career, and it's also something I did on the Olympic boxing team, and it never hurt me at all. But some people are really against this, and if you are, that's fine, don't do it. But what this is a burpee with a jump. Now, this combines explosive power with full body endurance, perfect for mimicking the high intensity bursts and the recovery demands of a boxing fight. The kind of squat, thrust, and jump sequence, this really trains your legs to generate force quickly, translating into more drive and stability into your punches. Now, with this, depending on where you are in your session and what you've done, I recommend doing 2 to 3 sets of 10 burpees, but make sure you add that jump in there as well. It doesn't have to be high, but make sure you add that jump in as well. Now, moving on to the next one, which is a big one, and I spoke about earlier on, which is speed shadow boxing using a resistance band. Now, when you're using the resistance band for shadow boxing, what I recommend you do, now depending on the length of your round, is using the resistance band for the first quarter of the round, dropping it for the second quarter, picking it up for the third quarter, and dropping it for the fourth quarter. Example, if you're doing 3-minute rounds, you want to use the resistance band for 45 seconds, drop it for 45 seconds, pick it up for 45, drop it for 45. If you were doing 2-minute rounds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You understand, mate. You understand maths, right? And you understand my accent. And you can use this at the beginning of your session as well. Now, because you're using the band, this adds resistance to every punch, making your muscles work harder. And when you take the band off and drop it on the floor, your punches will feel lighter and faster. And that's what we're looking for right here. And the band resists both the punch and the reaction, strengthening your pull and back muscles for faster guard recovery. Now, the next one I want to talk about is something else that's big for your lower body, but also great for your explosiveness. And this is something I did training for the Olympics. Now, depending where you are, your age, and where you are in your training, maybe this is not great for you and you should stick to the step-ups. But what this is box jumps. This builds explosive leg power to generate maximum force quickly, the same way as you drive power from the floor into your punches. It also improves your footwork speed and your sharpness of closing the distance down, creating different angles. And if you know boxing, you will know that footwork is one of, if not the most important thing in boxing. So by doing this sort of training is only going to help your footwork. Now, what else will help your footwork is the Boxing Footwork Academy. This program is absolutely stacked with everything you need to work on your feet. And this program is not about strength work in footwork. This is all about getting the right technique so you can move faster, move better, more efficiently, which ultimately will help you with the speed of your punches and the power of your punches as well if you fix your feet. Now, to get information about the Footwork Academy, you can scan here or you can go to boxingfitness.com/footwork. The links is below. Now, let's get on to section number 5 on this video, which is putting it all together. Now, here is a weekly plan mixing your strength and your boxing skill work so you never overtrain one at the expense of the other one. Now, if you're training for fights, this will be a little bit different training for someone for fitness. But this video is not about your boxing training schedule. This is about the strength schedule. Now, if you can do your 3 days of strength conditioning at home, this will be great. Day 1, you're going to focus on lower body and core. With the lower body, you're going to do 4 sets of 12 squats, 3 sets of 8 squat jumps. Then we'll do the core work where you're going to add in some planks with the shoulder taps and some Russian twists. And then I just want to say, when you're doing this, make sure you have a full body warm up before. Now, day 2 of your strength work, what you can do is push-ups. Now, you can do these, they're either standard weight or explosive weight, which I mentioned. Now, with this, I want you to try and build up to 4 sets of 15. Have a minute in between each set, and then as time goes on, you'll be able to build this up even more. But right now, do 4 sets of 15. Now, when you're doing these, if you can't get through them, stop, shake it out, and get going again. It will be hard for most people, but you've got this, my friend. Next, we're going to do pull-ups. I want you to do 2 sets of 8 wide grip and 2 sets of 8 close grip. Now, like I mentioned, if you're struggling with these, use the resistance band. It will be hard, but I want you to really push and get through it. If you don't get through it, don't quit. Keep going. If you're really struggling, get that wide grip, do a jump and try and just get your chin above and then come down slowly. That will really help you for the long run on this. And also on day 2, I want you to do dumbbell rows, 3 sets of 10 on each side. Now, depending on your strength level, this depends on your weight. Now, I wouldn't want you to use a weight where you're absolutely dying and you can't pull it up after like 5 reps. I want you to be able to get through it where like 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're starting to really struggle with it. Then also on day 2, we're going to get that resistance band and we're going to work on punches. I want you to do 2 3-minute rounds using the resistance band. Remember where you're using it for 45 seconds, dropping it for 45 seconds, using it for 45 seconds. Now on day 3, we're going to be working on our explosive conditioning and our core. We're going to start off with box jumps. I want you to do 4 sets of 6. Now, if you're really struggling with box jumps, you might have bad knees, do the step ups. That's fine as well. Then from there, we're going to go into dumbbell thrusters, 3 sets of 10. Then we're going to go into the killer, which is 3 sets of 12 burpees with a jump. And then we can get that resistance band out again, and we're going to do some more punching intervals. Because after all, we want to do this for our boxing. So get the resistance band on. I want you to do 20 seconds non-stop punching as fast as you can, and then rest for 10 seconds where you're doing nothing. Do it again. And I want you to try and do this for 4 minutes. Now, if you follow this plan for 6 to 8 weeks and tracking your progress, I guarantee you that you're going to not only be able to punch faster and better, but your endurance will improve as well. Now, there's 2 things that I recommend you do right now. Number 1 is click here and get the Boxing Footwork Academy. These drills and skills will help take you to the next level. And the second thing I think you should do is click here and watch this video where I talk about how to improve your conditioning for boxing. So click here and then click here.